come to us. That's what you think. He did not come to us. You don't want to do that. Hey.
It's your boy Dean, Controversy Boxing, man, and we back again with the controversy in the box. Let's get it together, man. Before we get started, today we were talking about Ryan Norman Jr. and Devin Haney, man. What you guys think about that fight? Before we get started, man, do 3 things for me. Like, subscribe, and slap that bell for updates, notifications to the channel so that you can get the next Brian Norman, Devin Haney, or whoever Devin Haney or Brian Norman fight next when I run. Appreciate it. Without further ado, we got, like I said, we got the, the challenger, Brian the Assassin 2 Norman Jr. 30 fights total, 28 wins, 22 knockouts. Has 0 losses, 0 draws, and 2 no contests. I wonder what no contest was for. And then we got the former champion, Devin the Dream Haney, with 33 total fights. So they're not that far apart. 32 wins, 15 wins by knockout, and 1 no contest, 0 losses, 0 draws. For Devin Haney. Devin Haney is 5'8", 173 centimeters. Brian Norman Jr. is 5'8", 103 centimeters. So they're basically the same. Only difference I see right now is the reach. Reach for Brian Norman Jr. is 1 inch more than Devin Haney, which is 72 inches and 71 inches. Both orthodox. Both has worked at multiple weight classes, I think I'm saying. No, Brian Norman just welterweight. And Devin Haney, of course, y'all know lightweight, welterweight, and welterweight. Okay. With that being said, they got a fight that's coming up. Yes, November the 22nd. It's supposed to have a fight. Brian Norman Jr. and Devin Haney. But you got to think about it. Now, this ain't just a fight. You know what I mean? Especially with Brian Norman, this is more like a statement. See, Brian Norman Jr. 28, like I said, 28-0, 22 knockout, and hungry to break into like the stardom fight. He hungry to teach people, you know what I mean? And Haney himself, I guess he's trying to silence the critics after his controversial win, and you know what I mean, the shaking momentum he begun, especially with the Ryan Garcia loss, which is a no contest now. And Devin Haney, he's been a chess player in the ring. You know what I mean? He's actually very smart in the ring. You know what I mean? But the question is Brian Norman gonna be able to, you know, be the fighter that, you know, to flip the board? You know what I mean? Like, will he be the fighter that, you know, that's gonna flip that doggone board? And Norman is younger, you know what I mean? You're explosive and fearless, and he's coming to basically, honestly, he's coming to make a statement. He's coming to be the king. He's coming to take the king out of this spot. Which, if you say Devin Haney's the king, but you get what I'm saying, you know, as far as this situation. And about Haney, you think it's gonna be a tough test for him? Like I say, no Ryan Garcia, no Riley, but Norman Jr. Like I say, he might be dangerous. He might be more dangerous than both of them. You know what I mean? And it's like he has like raw power. You feel what I'm saying? And nothing to lose, like at all. You know what I mean? Nothing to lose. You know what I mean? A person like that is a very, 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 very bad threat. You know what I mean? What I gotta lose? I gotta show y'all that, you know, I'm the man. You know, I gotta show y'all that I'm him, because nobody believes me. You know what I mean? Like, it's basically saying, you know, I gotta prove to the world who I am so that I can make a bigger name for myself. Like I said, like normally Brian Norman Jr. type person that you be flying on the radar. You know what I mean? But that's how, you know, that's how you find out about people. That's how they make a statement. They fly on the radar and they pop out and bust your ass and make it an upset. Now their name is out there. So you know what I mean? It's like, as far as Brian Norman, like, this is a big moment for him. You know what I mean? But I would say it's no pressure on him to prove there's no pressure on him, you know what I mean, to try to prove to other people or Devin or whatever what he can do. His thing is, if he can win this fight, he becomes that pressure for other people. He becomes that spotlight. So Devin got to show that, you know, I'm not finna let dude take me off my throne. I'm not finna, you know, get whooped beat by this guy, but you never know. Cherry pick going wrong happens all the time. So I don't know if Devin cherry picked him or not, whatever. But I know it's gonna be a tough fight for him. You know what I mean? But like I said, Haney got skills, to play chess and boxing. You know what I mean? But Brian Norman Jr. is a dog. So basically, it's like who bring or what comes to the which one steps to the ring. You know what I mean? It's basically like one. It's like gonna try to dissect it. Haney ain't got very many knockouts, so he gonna eat boxing. And the other one is a knockout artist. You know what I mean? So this might not go 12 rounds. You know what I mean? Well, we'll see though. We know how it plans out. And pause one more moment, y'all. I'm back. Actually, guys, like I say, but this fight here, man, is like basically is like legacy versus opportunity. And what I mean by that is Haney's fighting to kind of keep his brand intact. You know what I mean? And Norman is kind of fighting to build his brand. You get what I'm saying? This is where the crossroad paths, because both of them are dangerous in their own way. You know what I mean? But only one of them going to accomplish that goal. You see what I'm saying? And I'm going to ask you guys a quick question, though. Really, like, honestly, man, I'll say honestly, this fight was set up by Turkey Al-Rashid. Was set up by Devin Haney. You know what I mean? And Turkey like to see good battles. So I'm wondering if Turkey sees something that, that he feel like can create this to make this be a good fight, or is it like maybe a setup or a shake-up or a trap for Haney? You know what I mean? Because Turkey want to see you get down. So, like, see, it was like lined up by Turkey Al-Rashid, you know what I mean? Allegedly lined up by Turkey Al-Rashid and not by Haney. So it's basically, did Turkey underestimate Norman Jr. or is he, or did Haney underestimate Norman Jr. to go ahead and take that without maybe second guessing? You know what I mean? Or are we looking at Turkey set a trap for Haney? You get what I'm saying? You never know. With this way this shit going, where the boxing shit is, man, it's crazy. You'll think something should go a certain way and it won't, or the judge will cheat, or the ref will cheat, or whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? I feel like, Haney ain't got but 15 knockouts in his 33 fights. So he knocking out less than half of his opponents. Brian Norman Jr. got 30 wins, like 28 knockouts. So he's knocking out the majority of all of his opponents. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be probably, depending on who bring who's to the ring, what's gonna be held at. You know what I mean? Like I say, who y'all got? You know what I mean? I really don't know who I got, honestly, right now. I think Brian can pull it off. I also think Devin is a good ass chess player and he can box your ass to pieces. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. But it's gonna be Brian Norman Jr., the Assassin 2, versus Devin Haney, the Dream. And they're going to be fighting on November 22nd. You guys will tune in, you know what I mean? And let me know who you got, you know what I mean? What you think that Brian Norman going to be able to pull it off? Because I'm sure the odds are in the favor of Devin Haney right now. Can make you some money or something. I always bet with underdogs. I don't care who the person is. I go with my heart with the winning. I mean, with the one of the person to win for us, building their brand up, and who I like the most. But I go with my business sense when I'm betting, because it got to make sense. Even if I like Devin, me betting on Devin don't make no money. But if I like Devin and I bet with Brian Norman, if Devin so happen to lose, I make money, good money. Me betting with Devin, I don't make any money. It's like I'll bet and probably break even or maybe lose a buck or two. You know what I mean? Other than that, it's like business. And that's with any boxer, like, period. Like, my heart don't get into my pockets. No, sir. I go by stats. I go by what I think is going to win that money. I go by the better opportunity. Like, even if I lose and bet with Devin, I wouldn't be mad, but I wouldn't make no money, so that's not a business sense decision. But that's just my personal opinion. Devin Haney versus Brian Norman Jr. on November 22nd, man. You guys tune in, man. And I think it's going to be like a real hell of a fight. You may see an upset. Yeah, it may go down like that. You know what I mean? So without further ado, man, I'll do 3 things from that. Like, subscribe, and slap that bell for updates, notifications to the channel, man. And you guys tune in with me next time. I appreciate you guys again. This your boy, Dean's Controversial Boxing, and I am out, man. Peace.